What if I told you that love isn't some chaotic, mysterious force you just fall into? What if it's not about luck or fate, but actually about structure and intention and balance? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty fascinating system that might just reframe your entire understanding of relationships. Right there. This one idea is the bedrock for everything we're about to explore. It completely flips the script, doesn't it? It takes love from being this passive thing that just happens to you to an active practice, something you build. It suggests that the strongest connections aren't just found by chance. Nope, they're built, and they're built with intention. And this way of thinking, this framework, it has a name, the Helliana Love Doctrine. It's a system that's designed to give us the language and the tools to really analyze, understand, and consciously shape our romantic connections. So forget chaos. Think architecture. Okay, so at the absolute core of this doctrine are 5 fundamental energies. They're called love threads, and you can think of these as like the primary colors of connection. Each one of us has a dominant thread that kind of defines our natural approach to love. So let's break them down one by one. First up, we've got the netter thread, or just fire. This is that energy of raw attraction, of heat. If your love language is all about intensity, excitement, and just that powerful sense of desire, you are probably channeling the fire thread. It is the spark that ignites absolutely everything. Next, we have the Vayana thread, or water. Now, this is the energy of those deep emotional currents. Water is always seeking intimacy, empathy, and true, genuine understanding. If you're someone who craves a bond where you feel completely heard and emotionally seen, this is your territory. It is all about that depth. Then there's the Sajara thread, stone. This one is the anchor. It's the energy of stability, of loyalty, of unwavering consistency. Stone provides the foundation for a relationship, offering that feeling of security and reliability. It values structure and knowing you can count on someone above all else. And then we have the Kira thread, which is wind. This energy is all about movement, freedom, and playfulness, Wind needs space to breathe. It thrives on lighthearted conversation, on curiosity, on spontaneity. It's the breeze that keeps the relationship from ever feeling stagnant or stuck. And finally, there's the Kiara thread, or Aether. This is the energy of the bigger picture. Aether seeks a shared purpose, a sense of destiny, a feeling that you're growing together. It's not just about the here and now. It's all about aligning on a vision for the future. So as you were hearing those, did one of them just sort of resonate more than the others? Did you find yourself nodding along to one in particular? Well, let's make this personal. We're going to do a super quick one-question quiz to help you figure out what your dominant thread might be. Okay, just look at these 5 options. Don't overthink it. Just go with your gut. In a relationship, what is the one thing you feel is most essential? Is it passion, emotional connection, stability, freedom, or a shared purpose? Go ahead and lock in your answer. All right, you got it? Here's what it means. If you chose A, you're likely a fire type, the igniter. If you chose B, you're water, the deep one. C is stone, the anchor. D means you're wind, the free spirit. And if you picked E, you're Aether, the visionary. Pretty cool, right? Now that you have your type, let's see how these different energies actually interact with each other. This is where the doctrine becomes this really powerful tool for analysis. And look, it's not about good or bad types, not at all. It's about understanding the natural dynamics between them. The system categorizes pairings into 3 types: flow, challenge, or clash. So here, we're looking at the most harmonious combinations. These are called flow pairs. These pairings just create this amazing natural synergy. For instance, you get fire and water, and suddenly passion meets depth. Or water and stone, where emotion finds a safe, stable harbor. You can see how each pairing just beautifully complements the other's core needs. But not all pairings flow that easily. Here's a classic example of what's called a challenge pair: fire and stone. Fire acts on impulse, and it craves that intensity, right? Meanwhile, stone acts deliberately and needs a sense of control and structure. Now, this doesn't mean they can't work, not at all. It just means they require some conscious effort to harmonize these, conflicting energies. And finally, we have clash pairs, and these are typically same thread couples. You might think pairing 2 of the same energy would be perfect, but what happens is their inherent weaknesses get amplified. So 2 fires can become explosive, 2 waters can get emotionally overwhelming, 2 stones can lead to stagnation. Again, it's not impossible, but it does require a really high degree of self-awareness and balance. And all of this brings us to the most important part of the whole doctrine. Your type isn't a life sentence, and your pairing isn't your destiny. The whole point of this system isn't to find a perfect match, but to give you the tools to actively build and maintain balance in any relationship you're in. And this idea is captured perfectly by what's called the dominion rule. It's the central law of the doctrine, and it's this: alignment is maintained, not assumed. I mean, wow. Compatibility isn't some one-time check you do at the beginning. It's an ongoing process. It's conscious effort, communication, and adjustment every single day. So let's look at how this all builds into a practical tool. First, you identify your thread. Then you identify their thread. Then you check your pairing type, flow, challenge, or clash. And then, this is the really key part, you score yourselves on 4 pillars: attraction, sync, stability, and flow. This helps you pinpoint your areas of weakness. So for example, if you're that fire and stone challenge pair, you might score low on flow. By applying the dominion rule, you can intentionally work to create space for both passion and stability, turning your challenges into a roadmap for growth. So we end right back where we started, but with a much deeper understanding, right? The Helliana Love Doctrine offers this profound shift in perspective. It empowers us. It helps us see love not as some game of chance, but as a masterpiece that we actually have the power to create and maintain. So the question it leaves us with is this: are you ready to stop looking for your perfect match and start building your alignment?